Keep dreaming, but my dreams keep flying away. And somewhere far beyond, keep chasing them and I never rest for a day. There's something I don't do. I feel the wind blowing my face, but that's alright. I smile, people passing by. Some smile back, some might not. I'm always looking for a shade when it's hot. I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. God, I'm feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. It's been a while since I ran into you on the street. I wonder if you moved. Hope everything is going amazing for you. And you're not feeling blue. I feel the rainbow down my face, but that's alright. I smile, people passing by. Some smile back, some might not. I'm always looking for a shade when it's hot. I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. God, I'm feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. I slip to the door, but I did to they blue. I slipped to the door, but I did to I slipped to the door, but I did to they blue. I slipped to the door. God, I'm feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a fast boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind.
Well, good afternoon, beautiful people. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Come on in. Ring the doorbell. Grab you a drinky drink. Pop a squat on the couch, recliner, whatever you need to do to get comfy, honey. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. What in the world is going on? These streets got messy this weekend, guys. These streets got messy this weekend. I said, oh my goodness. It was the weekend that I was busy, so I tried to keep up as best as I could. But, sometimes it's good just to break free from the chains of YouTube, right, folks? Right, folks? Yeah, then I find last night, old Betsy Betts. Oh, Lord, Jesus help us. Jesus help us. Now she thinks she's going to advocate for somebody in another state that has nothing to do with what Betty stands for. And this is my opinion. Okay, my opinion. Now, keep in mind what Betty says throughout her life here on YouTube about her white breaded rear end and blonde hair, blue eyes. And now she's going to stand up for somebody of a person of color. Okay? A different culture. Betty, now what's your old friends over there, the Proud Boys, got to say about you, honey? Honey. Ooh-wee. So we're going to talk about all this and more today. Okay? We might not be here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, okay? And Jada Marie said she's going to be out here. She's doing some cleaning. So, Jana said she is cleaning and she's going to be in the bushes. Now, make sure you grab one of them bush snacks back there. Chopper has it filled up back there with some good stuff. Okay? Well, Liverpool Linda, good evening from the UK. Good to see you. Good to see you. Everyone here, the good news from Duty Ron is Are you kidding me? I didn't even get to know that. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Prayers are answered. I did not hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that news. retired EMT. Like I said, I've been off of YouTube over the weekend. So I've been off and on. You know what I mean? I've been off and on. So, oh my goodness. So let's go over here and find out what the old Bets was doing today. Okay. Not today, yesterday, over the weekend. Make sure I get the right playlist here. So I'm not sure if you have heard, I hadn't been aware of the situation. Oh, he just put it up a little while ago. Okay, well, I'm going to have to go over there and, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that, like for real, because cancer destroys people at many different levels. So I'm glad to hear this. But I will make sure that we go over there and, say power of prayer is amazing. So old Bets decided she needed to get out and do her some dirty work. Okay. I said, Betty, if you don't take your little raggedy ass back to your house and leave these fine folks alone, they want justice for their daughter. And it seems to me, from my observation on your channel, what you do is bring a bunch of bull crap to a situation. That's the last thing that these folks need in their life. They're going through a major situation, a life-changing event. They lost their daughter to a tragic situation. And you, ma'am, never bring any peace, no justice. You bring, in my observation of what you've done in different situations, is bring a lot of chaos, a lot of accusing, a lot of, before you actually get the facts. So we're going to go ahead and take a little gander of where she is, what she was doing. I'm sure y'all, most of you probably already seen this, but we'll go ahead and watch just a sleep timer. What the heck? Um, we'll go ahead and watch a little bit of this. You are the wrong person, in my opinion, and whoever got you involved with this, which I think I know, knowing you ain't gonna do nothing for no brown people. Sit your ass down, Betty. You ain't about to do nothing for no people of color. You ain't about to do nothing for nobody but your white ass, in my opinion. Okay? Now, that being said, let me go ahead and share this to you guys. You haven't seen it. I'm telling you, she's gonna mess this up. Good afternoon, Thor. It's good to see you, honey. Hope you had a great weekend. Brenda Kay, it's terrible. So here we go. I'll make sure I got it on. All right.
Different types of substances, and we just really want to raise our voice for this young man, this young girl, and advocate for this man to be in jail and to be charged appropriately because he left the scene of a crime. He came back in a secondary vehicle, and you want to know, it begs the question as to why he would leave the scene, why he didn't stop and render aid. It sounds like she was alive for quite a little bit of time prior to her succumbing to her injuries. Could she have been saved? We don't know because of the actions of this man, Joshua Brown, 38 years old. That sounds like he shouldn't even have been behind the wheel of a vehicle to begin with. So that's where we are. I'm going to flip this camera around so you guys can get a lay of the land. We've got news organizations here. We've got the family. We're going to be filling out.
Sorry, Sunny side. I'm moving a little slow today. It's Monday. Sunny side. But later, I'm moving a little slow. The right hand ain't handing today, okay? I'm sorry. I had one cup of coffee today. All right. I had my regular yogurt and banana, and it's past lunch. I don't know. I'm not with it today. I'm sorry. Bear with me a little bit.
Today with more people, as more people leave church and start making their way up here. I am here with Chronicles of Olivia.
Hi guys, long time no see.
Yep, and we're here with this family, again, that's been underserved by their law enforcement, underserved by their local media, and
I'm assuming whenever shit gets tough for Miss Olivia, she's got to call in Bullhorn Betty. But let me tell you something, young lady. You are young enough to get out here and do some really good activist work, okay? And I'm sure that if you connect with certain activist groups, they will stand side by side with you. You do not need to get this old raggedy heifer up here, okay? Leave Betty out of this. This family has went through enough. And you know from history, Miss Olivia, what kind of drama she brings. What kind of drama she always brings. It's the right, same old bullshit, right? Yeah, I'm blaming Monday too. And yep, here she goes again. It's terrible. In my opinion, from what I've observed off of Betty's channel that I'm reviewing currently, it's never a good thing. It is a shit show. Not saying as a fact, but an opinion.
Underserved with justice for their daughter, and that's what we're advocating for here today. I hope you guys support this cause, and I hope you guys learn a little bit about her story. She was a beautiful 17-year-old girl, just like every teenager, probably has some problems, defiant, what have you. It sounds like
why you starting off disgusting, you old I'm going to say that. Now, why you got to go on and carry on like she defied this? How do you don't know this young woman? You don't know why, Betty. Stop it. Stop it right now. I demand you to stop it. If I have any authority over you, Betty, stop that. That's not good. Did you hear what she said about this young lady?
Yep, and we're here with this family, again, that's been underserved by their law enforcement, underserved by their local media, and underserved with justice for their daughter. And that's what we're advocating for here today. I hope you guys support this cause, and I hope you guys learn a little bit about her story. She was a beautiful 17-year-old girl, just like every teenager, probably has some problems, defiant, what have you. It sounds like mom didn't know she was at her boyfriend's house and she was leaving to head home before she was killed. They did not clean the crime scene appropriately.
See, you need to leave all that extra out. All that, see, a good activist, they leave all that extra bullshit you want to spool off of the mouth. They leave all that extra out, Betty. You're not too good at this. And you claim to be a worldwide famous and millions and billions know who you are. Okay.
Or take care of the crime scene appropriately. Her nails were there. And guys, this is going to be a little bit shocking. Trigger warning. So was her teeth. Her father had to pick up her tooth off the side of the road. That is something that no parent should ever have to do when law.
I'm not saying what happened is good, okay? Don't get me twisted now, y'all. I'll say how I feel, and we'll go over the facts of the case after we watch just a little bit of Betty here, okay? We'll go over the facts of the case. We'll look at from the news, from a reporter speaking with the police officer, some of the things that the family has to say. But I wanted to show you the way that Betty was going to go ahead and start this crap. Okay, go ahead and start this bullshit, Betty.
Law enforcement clears a crime scene. We have a lot of questions related to how they treated this case from the very beginning. Again, no blood taken. He was not required to go to the hospital after a casualty. So let me flip this around, show you where we're at, show you this beautiful area. So this is downtown. Are we downtown Graham or Liberty?
Graham.
We're downtown Graham. And as you can see, we're just getting started. We've got the family here of Daniela. And we're going to be raising our voices here, raising our voices to the corruption, raising our voice to demand justice for this young girl that was just waiting for a ride before her life came to a tragic end. And it's possible and probable that the man that hit her was under the influence of alcohol. We also believe that he may have actually tampered with evidence. We've heard from witnesses that they saw him picking her cell phone off the road. There is a possibility because him and what we perceive to be his parents came back to the scene of the crime. And again, what took them so long to call law enforcement? Why wasn't law enforcement called by Joshua that evening? These are all the questions we have that nobody seems to answer. And why is law enforcement, once again, this is another case where law enforcement is not telling the public or the family whether or not this boy is father or family is part of law enforcement, because there's got to be a reason they let him leave the scene. There's got to be a reason why they didn't follow proper protocol in a homicide, or vehicular death that resulted in a casualty. I don't know. We're here. We're going to be advocating. I hope you guys join for the ride. Please, I'm going to be trying to monitor the chat as much as I can, but please talk amongst yourself, guys. This is what I need you to do. Her name is Daniela Mendiola. I need you to start going through this and start throwing information into the chat that you hear about this case. If you guys have any information or know this family at all, please immediately reach out to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com.
Here we go again with this. No, don't do law enforcement. Don't do, what's the right thing. Reach out to her because she says that she knows what is a good tip and what's a bad tip. She has been trained in this area. She has a master's degree in it. So please, Betty, what? What? Why would you do this again?
And send me your leads, tips, and information. We're going to be we're going to be starting this process here in just a few. So just bear with us. It's a little cold out here for this Florida girl. So just bear with me. We'll be back. And I go, okay, well, we're running live. I'm just going to go ahead and take some footage of what we got going on. All right.
She's found her next victims. It's gross. So that's what she was out here doing. Then they started, she started this. But here's the thing. I'm all for, baby, I'm all for a good protest. Okay, I'm all for a good protest. But in my opinion, my humble opinion, right, Thor? In my humble opinion, she is the wrong person for this protest because she has proudly got on here and says to her followers, her subscribers, members, how proud she is of her white honky looking ass. Isn't that true? So now she's over here messing around in a culture she has no business being in. And that's my damn humble opinion, okay? So I think that she needs to step back. Take care of your own backyard first, ma'am. This family does not need anything looking like you. I'm just gonna say it. You don't need it. So I'm going to show the next video is actually about what has happened. Now, before she says she broke the case wide open and they decided to press charges against the guy, but whenever she came on the scene, she's like over a month late to this situation, this tragic event. Okay, so she ain't doing nothing. Okay, she hasn't done nothing. So here is a video from the news. Make sure I put it on in StreamYard.
New tonight, a family says it wants answers after the death of their 17-year-old. Daniela Mandiola died earlier this week after troopers say a car hit her in Liberty.
The family says she was just waiting for a ride after visiting her boyfriend. WFMY News 2's Nixon Norman heard from the family and found out why troopers aren't planning to file charges at this time.
Today, I spoke with both Daniela's family and the mother of Daniela's boyfriend. They tell me they're frustrated the driver who hit their loved one is not facing any charges. We took their concerns to state troopers who say it's because the driver came back to the scene. Daniela Mendiola just turned 17, only days before her life was taken from her along Oak Grove Church Road in Liberty.
Like the love she gave to the world, we just want the same love and passion to go to helping her, but it just feels like nobody's helping her.
Adolfo Trejo, Mendiola's brother, as well as their entire family, is at a loss. Not only are they left without their loved one, they're left searching for answers. So is the mother of Mendiola's boyfriend, Heather Eastwood, who says Mendiola was leaving her home and waiting in her driveway when she was hit.
I'm mad. We all are. Everybody. We're like a family out here. Everybody's family. We are all devastated. Her family, our family, my son.
According to State Highway Patrol, 17-year-old Mendiola was walking in the middle of the road when 38-year-old Joshua Brown hit her.
Anybody watching it could have been anybody's child standing out there waiting on a ride, waiting on a friend to come pick them up.
Troopers say Brown was unable to.
This is a very, very sad, tragic situation. I'm like, whoa. In my humble opinion, I don't think Betty's the right advocate for this job because she has made it very clear that she's privileged. Okay. She's, now let me make this very clear too. Advocates come in all shapes and sizes and colors and creeds and cultures and all that. So you don't have to be a particular color to stand up for another human. But unfortunately, Betty has showed her white honky ass all over this platform, in my opinion, to let it be known how she feels. She has been associated with the Proud Boys. She's been associated with some characters that, we might have to question. So I'm just saying to this family, be careful.
To avoid Mendiola and hit her with his car. Nearby neighbor Mark Abram, as well as Mendiola's family, say there are a lot of things that just don't add up. They do not see a reason as to why Mendiola would have been in the middle of the road.
Why would she be crossing the street to go into these dark woods alone at 9:20 at night?
Troopers say after Brown hit Mendiola, he left the scene and drove back. Eastwood says she and her family were at the scene after the crash and noticed Brown in a different car. WFMY News 2 reached out to Highway Patrol about that claim. We were able to confirm he left the scene and came back, but not in a different car. Troopers believe the investigating trooper saw damage to the front left and windshield of the vehicle involved.
Our frustration is, why did it take that long for him to come back?
Although Mendiola's family is feeling stuck,
my baby, it's not coming back.
They know they have to keep her name alive in order to bring her justice.
This case is not going to be closed for me. I just got to keep going.
And hopefully, some closure for themselves. Mendiola's family says she will be laid to rest this weekend.
So that's very, 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 very sad. So here's another video we'll play.
Good evening and welcome to the Fox 8 6 o'clock news. Neil McNeil here along with Katie Nordine, and a family's fight for answers lands a man from Liberty in eastern Randolph County in some serious trouble after a fatal wreck. We first told you about the death of Daniela Trejo Mendiola last week. She was just 17 years old.
She was struck and killed by a driver along Oak Grove Church Road. At first, troopers said the driver would not face any charges, but today that man had his first appearance in court facing a felony charge. Fox 8 Celeste Smith joins us now live in Alamance County. Celeste, what else can you share with us?
Well, today in court, the judge told 38-year-old Joshua Brown that he could face up to nearly 5 years in jail if found guilty. But Daniela's family said that's not enough.
Well, I'm not happy with the charges.
Joshua Brown is now facing charges for felony hit and run and cited for a window tint violation. Brown is accused of hitting Mendiola with his car along Oak Grove Church Road back on August 20th. Initially, state troopers said Daniela was walking across the middle of the road when she was struck, but family members say it didn't add up. They kept pressing investigators. So much so, they say troopers returned to the scene of the crash to collect additional evidence and to interview witnesses, hoping charges would be filed.
He let him die. He left.
The night of the crash, Mendiola was visiting the home of Heather Eastwood. Mendiola was dating Eastwood's son.
I think we all just want to see the right thing done.
When Brown turned himself in on Wednesday, his bond was set at $50,000. He bonded out. During his first appearance in court Thursday, it was said he allegedly told troopers he thought he hit a deer.
That's really hard too, knowing that he has been up and down that road, hundreds of times and probably still is coming up and down that road. In my eyes, he's dangerous.
The judge kept Brown's bond at $50,000, which is $20,000 more than the guidelines recommend.
I think going beyond the guidelines.
So in my opinion, the judge is doing what he can do. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that but the judge just said that he put it more than what is required, more than what it's, suggested. So far, the judge can only go by what is brought to him by the state.
An amount is appropriate in this matter, given the fact that that there was an actual hidden impact with an individual. The fact that I've heard that you came back 15 minutes later, and also the fact you came back 15 minutes later in a different car.
Still, Mendiola's family is not satisfied with the charges.
I want more charges.
I mean, I think it's a start in the right direction, but we all feel like it should be vehicular manslaughter.
In court, the judge set some strict rules for Brown about contact with Mendiola's family and that he could not drive if he does not have a license. His next scheduled court date is September 27th, live in Alamance.
I don't know what happened on the September 27th court date. I kind of looked around, but I didn't see anything. So, not sure about that one. I tried to find some information on it, and then here's from a witness, which is a very good witness here. And apparently Chronicles of Olivia has been sharing
in today's video. I interview a neighbor
for over a month, so let me make sure that I drop this in the chat. This is not my video. I do not take credit for this interview. Obviously, it's not mine. This is her link if you want to check out some of the things. I'm not saying she's good. I'm not saying she's bad. Please do make your own educated decision whenever you watch somebody on YouTube. But it's just the right thing to do by drop the link and say who actually made the video and the interview. I do not take claim to this video. It is not mine. Make sure I have it on a little bit high speed here.
Neighbor. She tells us what she saw that night and that Joshua Brown, the man who committed the hit and run, was under the influence.
Yeah, I live right up the road, like right past her boyfriend's house, the next driveway, literally. No, I had been at work that night. I got home. It was like 9:10 when I got home. I usually sit in my car, watch a little TikTok, and then smoke.
Make sure is that too fast for everybody, or do I need to slow it down? Right. Please make your own educated decision. I am just letting you know where this was obtained from and all that. I am not affiliated to this person in any shape or form.
Cigarette and go in. It was 9:20 when I went in my back door. I went in, ate some food, came back out, smoked a cigarette because I'm a heavy smoker. My dad called me when I was in the car. It was 9:40 when he called me and told me that there was a call that somebody had been hit between Garrett Road and County Line Road. So because me and my family, we used to go, when he get a scanner call, we'd see if there was anybody we know. So I walked down the road because I do know that there's other girls that walk up and down our road. Me personally, I did not know Daniela. I did not know she had been out here. But when I got down here, there was a white Chevy SUV. There was two males.
I don't think that anyone should have a problem with sharing this information since, they're trying to get the word out. So.
One of them, which was Joshua Brown, and a female that was still sitting in the car. The one guy I recognized because he had been a customer at one of the previous gas stations I worked at. So I was like, hey, I was like, what happened? He goes, the girl got hit. And I was like, well, where is she? They're like, she's over there. And so I started walking around the car to go look to see if maybe it would have been someone I knew so I could go to somebody's house and let them know. Well, they were like, oh, no, you don't want to see. But me, being hard-headed as crap because I'm a tourist, I walked over and I looked. And I did not recognize her. So then I walked back over and I was like, so what happened? And Joshua said, I hit her. I thought it was a deer. She was in the middle of the road. Now, his eyes were bloodshot. He was either drunk or had been drinking or he was high. He stayed in front of the vehicle, the other gentleman on the side. And that was all he said, other than when he was walking down the road and he was kicking her phone and stuff down towards the scene. A few minutes, like not even like 2 minutes later, the first fire department guy showed up. She was in the ditch. They got her out of the ditch. She was barely breathing, barely had a pulse. So I was standing down there. The neighbors had came out and I had asked them, they were like, what happened? I was like, a girl got hit. I was like, she's wearing black, a black shirt and some white with some kind of pattern on them, pants. And Heather was like, that's my son's girlfriend.
That has got to be very, very difficult for them. It happened right in front of the boyfriend's house. That's crazy. Too fast. I want to make sure I'm not missing. I see she likes t-shirts like Benny, right? My friend was killed by a drunk and drug driver. Her niece lost her left leg at a young age too. Her daughter grew up without a mother. All they were doing was walking home. Oh wow, Wise Angel. That's sad. That is super sad. That's super sad.
And I was like, well,
if you're drunk, keep your ass off the road.
Well, she was hit. I was like, because I asked her, I was like, did she have a purple vape? Because there was a purple vape that was in the room. She was like, yeah. So they were like, going hysterical, which you could imagine, coming over trying to see. Then the guys, they were just still standing. Joshua in front of the car, the other guy beside it. So the other Heather's boyfriend came over and asked both of them, "Were you driving?" No. "Were you driving?" No. After Joshua had just told me he was driving the damn car that hit her, that he realized when he got home that there was hair on his car. That was not a deer. My thing was like, okay, if you hit a deer, why the hell didn't you stop the first time? Because I mean, if you've got insurance on your car, you're gonna stop.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. Why did you not stop?
Get that police report so that insurance can pay that shit, right?
It's just a damn human thing to do. If you hit something in the middle of the night.
But he just went home, and that was all the talking that they done that night. And then like I walked up the road and I was talking to a couple of the other neighbors, and they were like, "What happened?" I was like, "The girl got hit. I don't know who she is," but they knew. I was like, "So apparently it's her daughter's girlfriend." And they're like, "Oh my God!" And then I looked. I had heard they called Life Flight in, and they were setting up the cones. And I had turned around and they were doing chest compressions on her. And then the next thing I know, they had canceled that and they covered her up. And that just broke my mama's heart. And I tried to give my statement to the sheriff departments that was here, to the highway patrolman. He took my phone number and was like, "I'll call you." I didn't get no phone calls. I ended up having to call them to give them my statement. But I had went home because my daughter was freaking out because of the lights and everything. And I came back outside a little later to smoke, and I heard when her mama got here. I heard that cry, and oh my God, I could not. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I don't know why he didn't just fucking stop the first time. Like, I could see it being an accident, but you stop. You stop and check. You don't go home and get your freaking parents or your grandma or whoever. You stop.
Now, keep in mind, this guy's in his late 30s. This isn't a teenager or a first-time driver we're talking about here. We're talking about someone in their late 30s.
Like, it's just...
that went and got the parents. Well, that's... if you thought you hit a deer, why would you need your parents? Now, that's something I'm going to have to question. I mean, you're a whole fucking adult man.
Like, we want justice out here for her. And, like, a lot of us didn't even know her. But still, we want justice for her.
So sketch.
And I will support her family however I can. And her boyfriend's family, anybody that needs to support, I'll be here. I will tell my story over and over again. Because I was
Okay,
here
Janelle,
before the
honey, if you
EMTs,
can't-
fire, police, anybody.
Go ahead.
He was, like, quiet. He didn't have, like, a demeanor. He was just, like, silent. Like, it's almost like someone had told him, just don't speak. Don't speak. Don't give anything away. But, I mean, he'd already gave it away that he had thought he had hit a deer and went home.
Yeah, I don't understand why he went home and got and switched vehicles. That's sketchy.
Came the fuck back. And I'm sorry for my language, but this is like a very angry subject, and I cuss a lot anyway, so.
You're good.
But yeah.
Online.
Her legs were back over her.
This might be, if one of the mods could put a trigger warning in here. This is a very sensitive subject. I probably should have put one in the beginning, and I'll edit it here for a trigger warning. Please, if anyone has ever had an experience, it might not be the content for you today, and I do apologize for not putting a warning out first. So if someone could do that so I can pin it, I appreciate it.
They were back over her. There was blood on her face.
I know I've seen. Hang on just a second. I want to wait a second until we get that, because this is pretty. Pretty tough. So, yeah, I'll tag this one. Here we go. There we go. Now we have a little bit of a trigger warning, and if anyone needs to leave the chat, I understand. A lot of the people have a lot of experiences in life, and you just never know who you're gonna make feel uncomfortable. So I want to apologize for not having a trigger warning in the chat. I'm sorry about that.
That her brother and them had posted that she had a cut. I couldn't see a cut, but there was like blood on her face. Like, I've heard that he's related to somebody in a department and stuff. I have a friend that works at a store up in Liberty that said that his dad was a his dad was a sheriff for Randolph County. And I've also heard that his dad was a sheriff or something for, aliments or a trooper. So I'm like, well, I don't know who the hell he's related to, but he's got to have some kind of damn pull somewhere. And that doesn't make it right. Like, if that would have been my kid that had hit somebody, I'd want them to be like, yeah, I did it. I was either drunk, intoxicated, or I just, it was an accident. I would have wanted them to stop. Don't come the fuck home and, bring me back to a damn scene that something you done. Just call me and be like, Mom, look, I fucked up. I'll support you. But I mean, you can't, people don't have the common decency for human beings anymore in this world right now. Everybody's always race this, race that. Man, dude, everybody bleeds the same damn color. Like, seriously.
Well, the lady that just had a protest yesterday in your area, she's got on her platform. If you go and review her channels, I'm not going to say what she is. You gather your own information and see how you feel about the person that was out there protesting. You might have to watch some long streams, but the information is out there. How she feels of people in general. Okay. All right, so
I just want these motherfuckers to do their jobs. Like, I want them to fully investigate it. Period. Like, I saw the court footage where they had him mixed up with some other Joshua guy. Okay, so what if the dude don't have no damn charges? How do we know that he could have had charges? And if he is affiliated with the sheriff's, lawyers, or judges, how do we know they weren't expunged from his record? Because you can't get expunged records once they're expunged, Like, how do we know
He's an
for real?
eyewitness.
And I mean, apparently, he likes to go fast.
This is a neighbor that is an eyewitness to what happened. Like, she came up on the situation as it was unfolding whenever he returned.
Everybody's seen his TikToks after he's deleted it, even though people have, recorded them before. But I just want to thank you for helping the family get the word out. And I am so grateful that this family is not letting this shit go. Like, I'm so grateful because they don't need to at all. Like, nobody's family should let shit like this go. And I've heard of many, many cases where kids have been hit and nothing's been done. Like, come on. Like, that's our future. That's our future. Like, come the fuck on.
And thanks for people like you who your account is very important because you're the only person or the only person we have who was there to see whether he was under the influence or not. And by seeing his eyes were.
But this lady's saying that his eyes was bloodshot. This is a witness that can testify to that, but she isn't. Here's the problem that I have with what's being said here. The police did a test for DUI, and he wasn't under the influence of alcohol. They did not take him down to the hospital and get any blood drawn to see if he was on other mind-altering drugs. But for her to give this statement saying that you're the only one that can tell if he was intoxicated or not, that's not. I mean, she's not qualified to make those statements like that. Say he looked like to me, or I don't know. Olivia, come on, girl.
Red and bloodshot, like.
So. I do know because honestly, I drink. I know what your eyes look like when you're drinking, and in my past life, I've done other stuff, so I know exactly how that goes too. So I knew he was on something. Like, even if he was smoking weed, but still, like, he should have stopped. He should have stopped.
Yeah, being under the influence doesn't give you a right not to stop. Being under the influence doesn't mean that you don't stop. I mean, that's a, don't do that.
I would have stopped. Like, my sister-in-law passed away in December. We were coming home from visiting her in Roxborough, and I hit a deer. 1 o'clock in the morning. You best believe my ass stopped. Got my police report. Got my car fixed. Because I'm not a selfish human. Like, I feel for animals. Like, that made me feel bad. I cried because I hit the damn deer. Like, really do feel that he knew he hit someone and not a freaking animal. Because you can see a deer versus a human. A deer is a lot bigger than a little bitty old girl standing there.
So, I'm not sure if he knew what he hit, but he knew he hit something because he came back, right, with family. So, to me, this is all sus,
As bad as it is that he did come back, I'm glad he came back because they found her. Because if he hadn't came back, they wouldn't have found her. Like there ain't no telling how many days she'd been over here. She'd have been a missing person report. But that doesn't make up for hitting her and leaving the scene. Because he could have saved her life. She was in that ditch for 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't even know how long. All the difference that could have made. You know, I mean, like her family maybe they wouldn't be so stressed about getting justice if he just stopped.
Well, stopped, called 911 when he found out it was a human and, you know, took care of it that way because she could still be alive. But he didn't do the right thing.
Exactly. Like how you hit somebody, kill them, and not even like send them a card or anything. Like, but I was at home whenever he had left, and I was sitting here thinking, oh my God, I know they did not let this motherfucker leave. Because that shit pissed me off like really bad. I was so mad. Like I didn't sleep that night, and I haven't slept really that great since because I still see her in this ditch. And that's not something I ever wanted to see in my entire life.
So this is Daniela Mandela. I'm going to say the wrong name, the last name incorrectly. Mendola, I think that's correct. She's 17. She was hit outside of her boyfriend's house, standing waiting for a friend to pick her up around 9:20, 9:30 p.m. Early September. She was standing in the driveway. Apparently, they said that she was standing in the middle of the road. But there is a video that I showed where the boyfriend's mother showed the tire tracks that it went through in the ditch area. So I don't know if that was before or after him hitting this young woman. And there has been some things happen with the police force that they didn't arrest him right away. And I understand the family's anguish and understand the family. They want justice for their young daughter. Absolutely. And Bullhorn Betty, probably in my assumption, was brought in by Olivia because this is a case that's a month and or so, it was early September. We're at the end of October. So, she's sticking her nose in where it doesn't belong, in my opinion.
It's not something anybody should see. That's not even something anybody should experience. I mean, if he ran off the road, he said there ain't no way in hell she was in the middle of the road. All her stuff was like right over here. He hit her hard enough to throw her stuff this way. Yeah, her blood was in the driveway. Heather was showing me tire marks the next day. Like, no, I'm still surprised he got out the damn ditch as deep as that ditch is over there. Like, he had to be going over the speed limit that was on this road, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's deep. Like, even down there, but our driveway is deep. And, like, I'm always scared at night because I suck at seeing. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, so I go slow down the road because you never know when a deer is going to jump out. Because we've had deer in our backyard crossing the road, but I'm always afraid I'm going to miss my driveway. And I don't want to end up in the ditch.
Joshua Brown never offered condolences to Daniela's family.
Right. Like, they'd want the justice still, but they'd be like, okay, well, he admits to his wrongdoing. He's admitting to it. Saying I'm sorry is admitting to doing it. And that's still what he needs to do, regardless of how long it's been. He still needs to tell them, look, I'm sorry. I fucked up. I can't take it back. I mean, he's going to have to live with this for the rest of his life, and I hope to freaking God that he suffers. I hope that every night he lays his head down on his pillow, he thinks about her.
Yeah, that's super, super sad. But unfortunately, we have Bullhorn Betty up here doing her crap. And I'm like, why? Why is Bullhorn Betty over here now? Okay? Hang on just a second. Put you on mute, my dog. Okay, my dog's acting crazy again today, but everyone that comes in here knows she's gonna bark at a doggone bird flies over by her. Okay. Anyway, I also looked up the information that was produced in the news because they wanted to clear up some of the misinformation that's going on in this case. So I'll read it here. Make sure you guys can see it. Yeah. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen again. Because we know that her advocacy work isn't always looking out for the victims' families. It's to, I don't know what it's to do, to be honest with you. I don't know what her purpose is on some of the things that she does. I am not a psychologist. Okay. And like Shaby says, Betty needs money for all her legal woes. I don't know why she does what she does, but she does it. And it's very strange to me. And the way she carries on, but hey, who am I, right? I'm just someone that sees a video and reviews the video. So this was published on September 5th, 2024. And this is a local court and law enforcement officials are trying to deal with the whirlwind of misinformation surrounding the hit and run death of Daniela, 17, which occurred on the night of August 20th in southern I don't even know how to say that name. So the district attorney tried to address some of the most notable aspects of the misinformation that has been stirred up about the accident, largely on social media. In an exclusive interview Thursday, after the print edition of this newspaper had already been printed and distributed. Thursday's edition of the paper has reported the arrest of Joshua Thomas Brown, 38, white male. Okay, so this was published and then he was arrested. In the interviewing 2 weeks between the fatal accident and formal charges, more than a dozen of demonstrators took the court square in Graham prior to Brown's arrest with signs and banners protesting the absence of charges in the teenage girl's death. So please keep in mind, everyone, spread the word that Bullhorn Betty did not start the protest. These protests have been going on as early as September the 5th. So she did not start anything. She is not the starter of the protest to do anything, okay? She's, in my opinion, something else. I'm going to continue. Among the most serious accusations made by some of the protesters and on social media has been that the Highway Patrol was showing favoritism or involved in a cover-up in not issuing charges because Brown was the son of a former or retired highway patrolman. In fact, according to Boone, we have found no relation of the driver to any person in law enforcement, not the Highway Patrol and not the Sheriff's Office or any other enforcement agency. Some of the other Riga's social media posts had misidentified the law enforcement agency that investigated the accident as being the Sheriff's Office rather than the Highway Patrol. The Sheriff's Office had no role in the investigation whatsoever, according to the department's public information officer. Tucker acknowledged that he and other officials, including the sheriff, have continued to receive calls and emails questioning the department's failure to file charges in this case, even though it wasn't a clear case in the first place. So another dimension of the swirl of social media misinformation has been an assertion or allegation that the driver was drunk and had history of drunk driving. There is no evidence the driver was impaired or had any history of previous episodes or arrests for driving while impaired. In fact, there is no evidence of speeding or any other moving violation based on information gathered by the Highway Patrol. Boone acknowledged that the history of impaired driving could have had an impact on the type of charges filed, but only if such a history existed, since a pattern of dangerous driving could have added the key element of malice, which might have sustained a higher and more serious charge, such as second-degree manslaughter. Some of the girl's supporters have pressed for more serious charges even after the hit-and-run charge was filed against Brown. It was a tragic incident, he had said. So that is what they had put out. I hope that charges that can stick. That's the problem. And from my own life experience, just reading about cases, before you can be charged with things, but unless the evidence is there, you cannot be prosecuted on them. Do I think this is very terrible? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And that's the problem, Michelle. The problem with that was there was I don't know if I have it. I did see it. I could probably find it in my history, my view history. But there was a video of him being in the court. Okay. And the state misrepresented the case by stating incorrect information about the person that has unalived this young woman, and said a rap sheet that was not true. So I'm going to see if I can find that. I thought maybe I saved it, but apparently I didn't. Let me see if I can find it so you guys can watch it. Give me just a second, guys. I haven't went anywhere. Trying to find that. I think it might have been on Chronic. Maybe I put it in my email. I thought I saved a lot of this stuff so we could see it. And sometimes I send it to myself. Yeah, here it is. I sent it to myself, so I'll share it now. Make sure the volume's up. Okay.
I am going to read the charge levied against you, and I'll give you the maximum sentence as to that
That is as far as it goes up, guys.
charge. Then I will hear from the assistant district attorney, and he'll tell me about the allegations with that charge. If you have any criminal history, if you're on probation or not, and whether or not you have any recent failure to appears. Okay. Are you representing yourself in this matter?
No, I'm hiring.
Okay. All right. In this particular hearing, you're going to speak for yourself. Okay. All right. So after the assistant district attorney gets done speaking, then I'll allow you a moment. If that's what you want to do, you don't have to say anything again. Okay. And then I'll make a ruling with regards to bond and so forth. Because it's my understanding that there is already a $50,000 bond that's been made. Okay. All right. So the charge against you is felony hit and run with serious injury or death. That's a class F felony, punishable by a maximum sentence of 59 months in prison. Do you understand that?
So this only carries 59 months in prison, what he's been charged with. And to me, it would be a family member, this wouldn't be enough. Sorry.
Okay. I will hear from the district attorney.
So right here is where they give some false information that needs to, and then they come back and correct it. So I think that people were running with what they heard at first.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. The allegations, it is alleged that on August 20th of this year, the defendant did commit the crime of felony hit and run with serious injury/death. It is alleged that he failed to remain on the scene unlawfully and willfully failed to remain on that scene of a crash involving after law enforcement completed an investigation of that crash and authorized the defendant to leave. The crash occurred on Oak Grove Church Road, and to make clear, he left before that investigation was completed, and it did result in the death to Daniel Trejo Mandela. The defendant knew or should have known that the vehicle which the defendant was operating was involved in that crash, and the crash had resulted in serious bodily injury / death. Approximately on August 8th, Trooper Lynch responded to that accident, to that wreck that had in which the defendant allegedly struck the pedestrian. Approximately 15 minutes later, the defendant arrived back at the scene in a different vehicle, in the passenger seat, and when questioned, the defendant stated he thought he had hit a deer.
So we heard this. I want to go through it a
Afterwards,
little bit.
And obstruction in 2022. And he has
So right here's where they're saying that this is his past criminal charges, but unfortunately, it's not true.
In 2022, and he has a pending, and he was convicted of driving while impaired in 2023 in Stanley County. He has a pending failure to report an accident out of Stanley County, unsealed wine passenger out of Stanley, and a pending DWLR repaired out of Stanley.
So if all that was true, that would be really bad if they let him out on $50,000 bond, in my opinion, but it's not. So that's where I think people are running with this narrative, but it's not true.
Okay. Again, Mr. Brown, you do not have to say anything. Okay. And that is your right. So if you don't want to say anything, just say so that you don't want to say anything, and then I'll make a rule.
Everything that he just said is false.
Okay.
I don't know who they have, but that's wrong.
With regards to the criminal history or
Yes,
something?
everything they just say criminal history wise, it's not me. I don't know who they have brought up. I don't know who they have there, but that's not.
Okay. All right. We're going to issue the bond here. It's on this matter. It is 2B, in that the nature of the charges, the guideline amount is $30,000. Again, he was given a bond of $50,000.
Your Honor, I do want to correct the record. It is not him. It's a different middle name. They do have the same birthday and the same everything else. So I do want to correct the record. He doesn't have no record. I apologize. I do not know how it can be that close.
So he has no record.
Yes, he has no record. I want to be clear. He has no record.
So right there, it says they made a mistake. He has no record. So the misinformation is crazy. So apparently this man did not have a record. So the judge set the bond at $50,000 because that's what it says to do. So I always think money crimes like fraud do not imprison force to their accounting skills to community use. Minimum wage. What state is this again? Oh my goodness, you're going to ask me that. North Carolina, I believe. Now, I've just done a little bit. Is this Olivia's TikTok? I'm not sure whose TikTok this was. I don't think it was, because this was all over TikTok. This is all over other social media platforms, not YouTube. So the pressure has been put on from other social media, not BHB. Okay, Olivia has been there, yes. But I think that Bullhorn Betty's jumping on the train, So, and it's kind of strange. Don't you guys think it's kind of strange? Like, either Bullhorn Betty follows what Olivia does and then goes and starts the way she handles the case after Olivia comes in and talks to the people, blah, blah, blah. And then here comes Bullhorn Betty. It's like, I don't know if they tag team things or what they do, but it's very suspicious to me. But I'm going to say, let's, hey, Kenna. Sophia, I see you, by the way. I think you emailed me and wasn't sure if I had seen you, and I was having trouble with YouTube, but I see you. She was one of the first. I think she was one of the first that started covering this, and then here we have, old Bets, the old Bullhorn. She decided to come and do whatever she does, but it's kind of suspicious to me that, Olivia comes in soft, easy, and nice, and then Bullhorn Betty, in my opinion, comes in like a effing wrecking ball, okay, and destroys things. That's just my observation. I'm not saying that as fact, okay? Just, just what I'm saying. And hey, Cash, how are you? I seen you in here. I hope you're doing well. Michelle and other people that's come in while I was watching this, I do see you. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, or the thumbs down, okay? But it's kind of suspicious to me how they do things, VHB can never get crap right. She just loves to cause hate and manipulation. My opinion, I think that's I don't know why Bullhorn Betty does what Bullhorn Betty does, and I don't think any of us will ever find out. But I want to, yeah, it's just my observation. I'm not a clinical physician. I'm not anything. Just someone looking at a video that's on a public platform, and I'm giving my opinion about it. Nothing I state here is a fact. It's all opinion. Okay. I'm not judging any parent in Sebastian Rogers' case. Please don't put words in my mouth. I didn't see that. Sorry. Yeah, moderators, we are the like reminders. Right? Yeah, hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. I've had some things. I guess you ruffle people's feathers whenever you give an opinion and whenever you stand on something. So my email's been blowed up this weekend. And it's fine. Am I going to read those emails? I may not. And then I had someone come into my underneath one of my videos and make some comments, and that's fine. You have a right to your opinion just like mine. I'm not going to silence you. Keep doing you, boo-boo. All right? Duchess did the interview with CP and KP are caught laughing at a parent of an autistic child. Sophia, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that in that way. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Michelle said, uh-oh, I said something wrong. We'll play nice today. It's Monday. We're not going to start off our week being mad at each other, folks. Come on, fam. Let's get it together. Shake off the old madness, okay? We got to keep our eye on what the Bullhorn's going to do. And I just hope that she doesn't ruin any chances of justice for this young girl by digging her freaking paws in it, okay? So I just hope that they use their smarts, and just because she has a platform doesn't mean that's the platform you need to go on. You know what I mean? Because things get thick, things get twisted around. She's already put out that the police didn't do what the police needed to do. They may have not, but they are now. I know that sometimes in life, on certain people, the justice system is just a system, and I get that. Okay, and I'm down for a good protest whenever justice needs to be had. I'm not down for looting. I'm not down for destruction, but I am down for a good old damn protest. Okay, that's what America. We have a right to do, but unfortunately, Bullhorn Betty likes to cause havoc. From my opinion, from what I see, and why was she wearing boots? I don't know why she was wearing boots. It's, she had Idaho all over her that day, looking like she didn't know Idaho. It's crazy. All Cash must have someone that likes him. She goes, I heard a lady saying all kinds of nice things about you. She is from the UK and she sure's taken by your kindness. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. Aw. I'm missing the chat, guys. I'm sorry. Let me go back up. But you know what's also sad is oh wow, that's crazy. Keto Kim, that's sad. Wow, shit, I found a young man who you found a oh my God. Found a young man who was run off the road in a UTV. They left and were never found. He passed away. I have to pass by that location daily. I feel, oh, that's so sad. Damn, Keto Kim, I'm sorry about that, honey. We're just digging through our file cabinets of memories. No worries, I'll send the timestamps. Okay, you know, she's dressing like she did in at Idaho 4. I don't know why Betty does what she does. Yeah, she said she talked to you, I think, Friday night. Yeah. Sophia gifted a membership to someone, so please make sure you say, thank you, honey. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Sophia, for gifting a membership. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry, that has to be hard. That's terrible, Kim. That is terrible. But you guys, look into this case. Get your, your own opinion. Don't let people out here affiliated with Bullhorn Betty get you steered one way or the other. And I hope that the family does the same thing. Because I don't know. It makes me frustrated that Bullhorn Betty does that. And she already starts, it's a conspiracy, it's a conspiracy. But let me tell you what, people of different cultures live a whole different lifestyle than you do, ma'am. So you don't have the balls to walk into a community like that because see, they don't put up with shenanigans that you like to do. So I'm going to tell you what, if you start digging into this case and get around this family and their cousins and uncles and extended family, they might take your ass on a ride, okay, that you've never been on before because they ain't going to play with you. They're not going to play with you. And coming out from the gate saying, well, she could have been disgruntled. Shut up, Betty. You don't know what this young lady is. She's 17. Shut your mouth. You come out of the gate already talking smack. So, mm-mm. The bond and sentencing guidelines are set by state, not by police. Exactly, Bama Trucker. The judge said this is what I can do, but I'm adding 20,000 onto this bond because I want to. Okay, that's what he could do, and that's what he did do. So, and the judge can only do what is presented to him by the state, and not every case has a conspiracy attached to it. When will people realize this? Not every case does. Now, apparently, there were no child charges filed in the beginning. People pushed the issue, more evidence came, and charges were brought up against the person that did this. And that's freaking great because, maybe if the social media platforms didn't get involved, they maybe have shoved this under the rug. I don't know. But whenever you get someone like Bullhorn Betty just spewing misinformation from the get-go is a problem. Sentencing guidelines is such a thing, people. Sentencing guidelines are such a thing. But I really hope and pray for justice for this family. Now, please, but I don't know how well it's going to go for you now that you got the old horn out there. I don't know. I don't know. The law is a law and can only be charged in impairments. Exactly. That's the fucking problem that I have with Bullhorn Betty. She always thinks there is a system called you are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Well, during that process, the information has to be gathered, the evidence has to be gathered, and then they can pursue with charges. Until the evidence is gathered and they have all their ducks in a row, they cannot dare bring anything up in front of the judge because you get one chance to file charges in a situation like this, and that's it. That is it. So if they make a mistake and no charges stick, then what kind of justice is that? So Betty never gives a time for the justice wheels to turn. She wants to just jump on the fast wagon over here and cause some disturbance in the atmosphere, and that's crazy to me. It's crazy. Exactly. They have to handle it correctly. They have to handle it correctly. Or because you get one shot. You get one shot at this crap, man. And in my opinion, from my observation, it's a dangerous situation when you get someone that says that they're educated in certain fields when they really aren't that educated in certain fields. Okay, they may have read a book, they may have seen a show, but they're not an active person in law enforcement. They're not an attorney. They are not practicing in any of that field. They just come out and blow a bunch of smoke up someone's ass. That isn't good. So police were right onto Leilani from the get-go. Exactly, Bama Trucker. Hey, Joneson, it's good to see you. It's very good to see you, honey. Everyone, say hi to Joneson. We got to wrap our arms around Joneson. I had to do replay last night on Joneson's live. I'm like, if they don't quit picking on my girl, I'm going to have to dig into what all happened there so I can go in on a mug. I'm about to go in on a mug, okay? Shit, I ain't scared. Joneson, many of these channels do not, so keep their people in that bubble. Good to see you. Don't be chatting. Yeah, don't be chatting while driving, baby, because I don't know where you live, but I'll have to go to, go see how you're doing if something happens to you, sister. She has no training whatsoever. She has no training whatsoever. She has no training in any of the fields that she claims to. Remember, she was doing electric at 9 or 6 or something like that. I like watching Jones' videos. Me too. I like watching Jones. And like I said, I stepped away from the internet this weekend again, just to, kind of take a breather. And then I started watching last night, and I caught Jones in, and I was like, you know what? These people here, I'm talking like, what? But you know what? Here's my theory on all this, as just a bystander on all the community that's just in an uproar right now. Let me tell you what. Now the criminal record speaks for itself, and whenever you're out here slanging and shit, you ain't got you have no give a fucks about who you hurt. You don't give a shit about what you do as long as you make that money. Okay, so that mentality may have come on over here. Okay, just keep that shit in mind, folks. Not everybody that says is your friend is your friend. Not everyone that says that they have your best interests do. It takes a while. There used to be some rules in the streets that you don't hurt children and elderly people, but that shit done went away. You know what I mean? So what makes anyone think that someone that is capable of doing that shit isn't capable of being your true friend? But I see how people get caught into it because you want to have a community that you can trust and be friendly with on YouTube. But let me tell you what. Who is the snake then? Who slithers in the damn grass? Let me tell you what. I be side-eyeing some folks around here. I'll be side-eyeing some folks around here, honey. But so far, I'm going to have to put it out here. And Joneson has always been very simple, very nice to me, very encouraging. If I have a question about YouTube or anything, she always helps me out. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So, right now, you can't step to me sideways with Joneson. I don't give a damn what you say. Not kidding. It was very ugly. But hey, ho, ho. Right? There we go, Grandma Sherry. Sing that from the, mountain. Okay? But I think that Beth's going to get a rude awakening when she goes to court. I'm thinking that something that she unexpected is going to happen in the court system that she is not expecting. Okay? We all kind of see what's going to happen. Whenever you're sitting in front of a judge with 6 violations of a PO, and then you just keep doing what you want to do out here, they don't take kind of that kind of crap. You know what I mean? So now she's diving into this situation with this family. And what irks me the most about it is she wouldn't have had to stand up for someone from a different culture if we paid her to do it. Okay. And yeah, it does matter. It does matter. It does matter how you handle people. It sure the hell does. I'm not going to walk into someone's house and think I know about them when I don't know about them, and how to have a conversation with them and know what they expect and what their belief system is. It's completely different than your white washed down world, Betty. And I'm just going to say it like that. You live in a white washed down world. Okay. And you think that the laws only apply to other people and not to you. Let me tell you what, if something happened to one of my children or they went up missing, if you came towards me or my family, I would slap the most restraining orders I could on your ass. And don't think I wouldn't. Okay, do not think I wouldn't. Stay the hell away from me. More than a football field away from me, heifer. Okay? All right? I don't like her. Oh, what did Bets do now? Rebel Soul, you'll have to go back and replay. She's getting up in a family's business. She ain't got no business to do. She got enough shit on her plate. She has enough on her plate, honey. Okay? I'm telling her to back off. Back off, Betty. You know? Back off, Betty. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you stopped by, baby. I'm glad you stopped by. Let me get this link here. So I found this. I don't know if you, like I said, I'm not here today to stay for a long time. I just wanted to come over here and have a good time with y'all and talk about this crap, give you all a heads warning that what she's about to do now. And the clock says it's time for me to ride out like the wind, honey. I got things to do. Based here, sharing is caring. Exactly. She had volunteers to do that work on YouTube to be anyone's friend. I'm not on YouTube to be anyone's team. I'm not on YouTube to sugarcoat anything. I say what I say, and I stand firmly on every single statement. Bam, Thor. Just like that, honey. Just like that. And Grandma Sherry, it's good to see you. Thor, it's always good to see you too, honey. We got to get Thor up here and have him do some music. He's very talented. That you know, it's what I heard. So, yes, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I don't give a damn which one you hit, but hit one of them, okay? Hit one of them. But on my way out, I'm going to share this with you. You guys are going to like this. Yes, Grandma Sherry, if she has the channel, please drop it in the chat. You know, we are sharing is caring, and we love to share over here. And it makes people big mad whenever I share other channels. It's great, and I love it. I can only stand to watch Betty's on reaction channels. I am a reaction channel, right? And we still, Janelle, baby, we still need to get on that damn yacht, honey. Sail away at Lady K Dogs, right? I'm about to sail off. The time on the wall says to sail away, so we're gonna go out with this, honey. Okay, I dropped the link in the chat. This is something that I come across, and I thought, oh yes, this is perfect. So I'm gonna play this, and then I will see you guys on the next one.
She's walking down the street with boots too big for her feet, yelling boots on the ground. Every step's a crazy beat. Poor little dog in a car seat or a pocket, watching chaos unfold while she rocks it. Oh no, no, here we go, another wild scene with a lady that's crazier than you've ever seen. Her chihuahua's got no choice, just rolling with the sound while she's yelling boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Big dogs bark, she freaks and flies with the chihuahua tucked under her thighs. Running like she's being chased by fate, but it's just a pack of tiny dogs at the gate. Oh no, no, here we go, another wild scene with a lady that's crazier than you've ever seen. Her chihuahua's got no choice, just rolling with the sound while she's yelling boots on the ground, boots on the ground. And she's falling in a pool of toilet water stinking, but the chihuahua's smiling while she's sinking. She accuses the world, the dogs in the sky, but her poor little pup just rolls its eyes. Oh no, no, here we go, another wild scene with a lady that's crazier than you've ever seen. Her chihuahua's got no choice, just rolling with the sound while she's yelling boots on the ground, boots on the ground. Take a breath, little pup, it'll be okay. Just another one of her wild, wild days. And while she's losing her mind and yelling dumb, dumb, you'll just side eye the camera like, here we go, chum. Oh no, no, here we go, another wild scene with a lady that's crazier than you've ever seen.
Bye, y'all.